Good morning, class. Welcome to the 6th day of our website creation masterclass. Hopefully, we are progressing. Much progress has been made, and a lot of us are following with the classes, asking questions every now and then, and your questions are being responded to for those that have asked questions on my private messages. So today, we're going to be talking about Elementor. The truth is, if you're designing website these days without a good website builder, then you're making a very big mistake, because WordPress itself offers you little functionality. But for you to build good websites that are very, very palatable to the eyes, such that your visitors will be glued to your site anytime they visit, or whenever they remember coming to your site, they are happy because they know they will see things that will make them smile. They will see things that will be flying here and there. Then you need page builder, and the one that is currently on board is Elementor. There are a lot of page builders, but you have to go for the ones that allows you opportunity to fully customize your themes and your website without having to pay much, or without having to pay anything at all. So Elementor gives you some level of functionality, some things you can do on your website and do it and make your website look very good without you having to upgrade to their pro member. Although, yeah, you can upgrade to pro member and access a whole lot of capabilities, but the capabilities that are on the free mode are enough for you to do something worthwhile, and that's why I always prefer Elementor. And as at yesterday, it is estimated that more than 4 million websites online are designing with Elementor. Many people will not tell you this, but I don't like hoarding information, because information is life. I like people knowing what I know. So hoarding Elementor from you wouldn't really make any sense. So if you want to go into designing websites as a business, you want to design your own personal website that allows you full functionalities, you do a lot of things: carousels, slides, you add testimonials, you add images, you add galleries, and a whole lot of that, and make them look nice, then Elementor is what you should be looking at. So today we are going to see how to use Elementor. So we have to go to our dashboard. Let's look for a page we can work with. Okay, let's work with our front page. This is the front page. I will click Edit with Elementor. This is it. When you look at the left hand side, this is the menu. At any point in time, when you want to access this menu, when you must have left this place, you go back here. Not when you have left the Elementor editing page, but for instance, supposing I click global and I want to go back to that home page, I come here, it will return me to the home page. So at any given point in time, when you want to come back to this menu, the main Elementor menu, you have to what? You have to click it. It brings you back to this main Elementor menu. So for you to access, we have the basic widgets. They call it widgets, the basic ones. We have the pro ones, the ones you can access by being a pro member. Elementor even have their own login widget. They have navigation menu. If you want to design your header menus with Elementor, they have navigation menu option, but it's for pro members. Then we'll have the general. You can use it free mode. Then we'll have site, the pro members as well. We have WooCommerce for those that design e-commerce websites using a plugin called WooCommerce. They really need this if they want their website to be fantastic. Then we have the WordPress functionalities. With Elementor you can add WordPress functionalities like pages, calendar, archives, audio, image, gallery, videos, search, the search button, text, categories, recent posts, recent comments, RSS feeds, navigation menu, customized HTML, and some plugins that you've installed. If you look at those plugins that we've installed: registration magic login, registration magic form, registration magic login button, ERF forms, ERF login, profile builder, login widget. So with these things you can add a whole lot of things on your website. So that is the case. We have to start from the basic. Now if you come here, this is what happens. We have two icons here. One is the purple icon with a plus sign in the center. Is for adding new sections to your web page. When I click it, I see opportunity to select from a wide range of structures depending on what I want to accomplish with that particular section. So had it been I just want a simple section with a very big image that covers the page, I can go for this single structure. If I want maybe two images in form of a gallery, two images lying side by side, I can go for a double structure. But if I want maybe to do maybe a horizontal explanation of things, maybe arrange them in points, like maybe I want to tell people the advantages of using my site, and I want to use 3 images that captures those advantages with some text below them, then I can use this triple structure. We have the 4 structure, then we also have the double structure, but with a smaller left hand and a wider right hand, still dependent on what you want to achieve. Maybe I want to use this structure and add a login by this side, then add other things by this side, then it can work. We also have the double with a wider left and a narrow right. So a whole lot of structures depending on what you want to achieve with those structures. That's what you do with here. Add new section, then add a template. Elementor has got templates as well, already built templates that you can use and edit. So when I click add a template, but before then, this is where I'll need an internet connection. You can work with Elementor without an internet connection on a local host here, but anytime you want to access a new functionality for Elementor, like you want to use their template, a template that is not already existing on your website, then if you're doing a local host, you need an internet connection to access new templates that you've not downloaded. So once I connect, I can come back here. So it will show me this template section. I have opportunity to choose from blocks and from pages. They already have pre-designed page templates here. It's still loading. It's going to show up here. Then we'll have pre-designed template blocks. Maybe, for instance, you want to design a frequently asked question section for your website. You quickly come here. You don't want to waste too much time trying to build it with Elementor from the scratch. You quickly come here and select this frequently asked question block and insert it on your website. Let's do something like this and see what happens. Okay, I'm expected to create an account with Elementor before I can access their templates. So owing to the fact that we don't have much time with us, when you want to use Elementor, you can create an account with them. So let's just quickly go through. So you just insert. Once you create an account with them and click insert, it will insert the blocks into your website. If it's for pages, they already have predefined pages that you can work with. So one problem with all these plugins is that they upgrade day by day. The last time I used Elementor, I never had to open an account with them. I quickly come here and choose the block I want and insert. But now maybe they notice that a whole lot of people are using their plugin, but they are not getting subscribers, so they will need you to actually register with them so that they can be sending you emails from time to time. Sometimes that is what some companies do. Before they can give you access to something, they will have you to register first so that they can be sending you emails with the hopes that one day you may change your mind and subscribe to a paid version, and by then they will convert you to a customer, a paying customer. It's a business strategy too, in which anybody who wants to be in business in this 21st century must also learn to do. So supposing tomorrow you also build a website where you tell people how to use herbs to cure some certain illnesses, at some point you want them to register so that you can be sending them emails so that at some point you can actually sell products and target premium products and put money on it and send them emails, and you want them to subscribe. And when they trust your website, when they trust the information you've been giving them, then they can actually subscribe and pay. So had it been I'm building a website for a client that requires higher functionalities that I can't get on the free mode, I will simply pay for Elementor because they've been giving me what I want. That is it. So this is where you get your already existing template. Then in a case where you also have this option here, my template. My template is when you've built a template and save it. Supposing I design a page on Elementor, I love that page so much, I can save that template so that I can use it next time on a different page. So we are going to be saving a template here today, so we see how it is being done. So that is it for these two icons. So let's start with this one. We want to add a section now. So let's use this structure. This is it. As you can see, it is very close here. So we need to space it out. And thankfully in Elementor, we also have spacers. This is a spacer. You need to use it to space out two different sections. So you drag towards to space out. That is virtually what happens. You drag to space out. So that is it. So for instance, I want to add an image here. I'll come here, drag this image icon to this place. This is it. The image icon is here, showing that an image is supposed to be here, or I want an image to be here. So to add that image, I'll come here, choose image, I'll click. Once I punch choose image, it will take me to my library. Remember, we have two library options here. The ones that you've already uploaded on your WordPress app, and the option that permits you to upload another one in case the image you want to use is not already uploaded. So assuming the image I want to use is not already uploaded, I'll click upload files, come to select the file, So I'll quickly toggle scroll and choose the file that I want to upload. Let's say I want to get this file. I select by double tapping it. So it will load. Wow, an error occurred. Let's look for another. Let's try it again. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it said processing of the image failed, likely because the server is busy or does not have enough resources. Uploading a smaller image may help. Suggested maximum size is 2500 pixels. And what is the size of the image I'm trying to upload? Let me check in my project. This is the image I'm trying to upload. This is 43 kilobytes and this is 112 kilobytes. So size would definitely not be a problem. Then it might be that the server is busy. So what I go to my local host and stop the servers, then restart them again. I restart them, then I come to my WordPress pages. I have to load my page again. Okay, let's go back to how we started. Let's see if we've solved the server error. It's taking much longer time than I expected to load. Okay, we are back here, and hopefully the draft was saved where we stopped. So let's go back to what we were trying to do. We're trying to upload an image here. Let's see if it works this time. It's supposed to work. If it doesn't work, then that means we have to resort to troubleshooting. Good. So it has been uploaded. We now click insert media, and ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the image we just inserted here. So it's very, as you can see, this image is very fine. So now we want to do some little bit of formatting. Remember, the goal is to build websites that are very sweet. When I mean sweet, I mean very sweet. So we have to do some formatting. We can actually change the size of the image here, but that doesn't really matter. Sometimes it delays the time it takes for the image to load on a web page. You can choose alignment, but here the image is already big to have covered the space we want it to cover, so there's no need to align anymore. Then link here, in case you want to put a link to this image such that the image can be clickable. Someone can tap the image and it will direct them to a page. This is where you come. You add custom URL. You go to custom URL or media file. media file. That's if you want a situation whereby when someone clicks on this image, it will load a page where the person can view only the image itself. That is a work of media file. So you either use default yes or no for Lightbox. Lightbox is that page that loads. So if you want default, yes or no. But if you want it to be a page that loads, you come to custom URL and put the link to that page, this place. So for now, we don't need all those. We leave it at none. Then we come to styling. Styling. Remember, this is where you use width to adjust the size of the image. If I want to reduce the size, this is where I adjust such size. So this one also serves the same functionality. Okay, then opacity. If I want the image to be transparent or something of that nature, this is where I come. Opacity. So this usually works most times when you want the image to be hover. Like when I hover it, it will become somehow translucent. I can set it, the opacity here now. You see what's happening? When I hover, it becomes translucent. When I hover, it becomes translucent. When I hover again, it becomes translucent. So this has been applied here. Once the image, someone accesses your website and hovers over the image, it becomes translucent. Once the person removes the cursor, the mouse, it returns to normal. So always remember, below here you see update. This update is always used to update the changes you are making as you're designing the website. And it's necessary you update most times because of power outages, in case you're using a laptop or a mobile device that can trip off at any given time. So you always update. But in the absence of that, you are too sure that your mobile device will carry you for how long you want it to carry you, then you can choose to leave this and do what you want to do. And sometimes you also update because of network errors. That is, you're designing on the go. If you're designing from a paid server where you need an internet connection, so because of network outages, you need to update from time to time so that you won't lose what you've been working on. Although Elementor has come up with a new style of saving your draft when you mistakenly leave the page without saving, just as what happened now when I turned off the servers and came back. It brought us exactly back to where we stopped because the draft was saved. But you can't always bank on that. So that is it. Then if you want, you can also choose hover animation. Like if I choose pause, hover, look at what happens. Wow, this is too good. Elementor is too good. You see what's happening here? So once I hover, this is what happens. I can choose pause grow. See what's happening here? I can choose push. Once I hover, see what's happening here? So you can come here and choose any type of shrink. Once I hover, it will shrink. When the mouse leaves, it will return. Once I hover, it will shrink. When the mouse leaves, it will return. So this is so good. You can also set border types. Borders. You can set border. You can set border to solid. Then the color to white. Let's set the color to white. You see the essence of what I'm doing. Here is border radius. You can use it to increase the radius of the edges if you want the edges to be curved. But you won't really notice if the border color is white. But if I set the border color to another color and increase the radius, you see the edges begin to curve the more I increase the radius. Then it will return back to this angle 90 degree when I return reduce to 0. Now box shadow, I want this box to have a shadow. This is it. The shadow is already coming up. I select the color of the shadow I want. This is the color of the shadow I want. This is the color of the shadow I want. So this is the blur. I can increase the blur. You see what's happening here? I can increase the blur. This is how I want the blur to be. Spread. See, I can adjust the spread from here. I can adjust the spread from here. Then horizontal. Do I want the shadow to go by the left as horizontal or by the right? So this is where I adjust that. If I will leave it at 0. Okay, let's leave it at 1. Then vertical. Do you want it to go up or come down? So this is it. Let's assume that we're done formatting this. Then you can also change the entire layout of this to stretch out. When you stretch it out, it will assume the entire layout of the web page. To assume the entire layout of the web page. But if you don't stretch it, it will what? It will align itself and have edges by the side. So I want to shift my, see the box here is too close to this header image. I want it to shift a bit. So when I want it to shift a bit, look at this box I selected has 2 sections. I can edit this section independently without touching this section. Anytime I want to come here, I'll come and start editing here, but I'm editing here. But if I want to edit the whole box, because the whole box they came together as a section, so if I want to edit the whole box, I come up and click here. The options that will always come out by the left hand side will be options that permit you to edit the whole box. But when I want to edit this particular inner box, I come here and click here. The options that will come out here will be options that will allow you to edit only this section. When I want to edit this section, that's when I must have added what I want to add here. This blue icon at the top will also appear here, so that when I click it, any editing I'm doing here will also be for only this inner section. But when I want to edit the whole section, I come here, I click here. When I want to add a section, I click here. It will add another section at the top. When I want to delete this section entirely, I'll click here to delete this section. But I want to edit it. This is what I did. I clicked here. This place came out. Then I want to shift it. I want to adjust the space between the header image and this section. I come to advanced, then margin. You do it in margin. So I start increasing the margin. It will be shifting, or reduce it until I get the size I want. So that is basically what happens. So let's assume that I'm done with this. Now here I want to add a write-up that explains what this image stands for. So I go back to my home, my menu, as I said earlier, by coming here. Then now this place I want to add a text editor. I drag text editor and drop here. It automatically gives me opportunity to add a text editor. So the text is here. So this is it. This is the text I want to add here. So if I want to edit, as I said earlier, this particular section, this is where I go edit text section. So that's what happens basically. So I'm trying to update so that our what we are doing won't be lost. So I can add a test here. I want to edit, I click here, so this comes out. So the same thing, do I want the test to be a link to a page? This is where I put the link. If I want to change the size of the test, this is where I come to change the size. I want to change it to small. If I want to change to medium, I want to change to extra large. I want to change to extra large. This is where I come to align it. I want to align it to the right, to the left, or to the center, or justified. So let's use center. Then styling. This is where I change the text color. I will choose black for this text. Typography. This is where I change the font family. I'll use Tahoma for this one. Then the size of the fonts. This is where I adjust the size. Also as well, if I want to adjust size, I can use it as well. Then the width. Do I want it to be bold or normal? I want it to be normal. Or let's use bold. So you see what's happening there. Then the height of the text, the line height, this is where I adjust the height between the lines. Then the spacing for the letter, I adjust the spacing for the letter here. I can make it compact, come together. I can space it out depending on how I want it to be. So I'm done with this here. I go to advanced and see if there's further functionalities I can do with advanced. So in this advanced, I can come to border. Okay, first and foremost, let's go to background. I can change the background color of this text area. Classic. Let's change the color. Let's use blue. Should we use blue or okay, let's use this color. This color is okay. Then I can also work on it so that when I hover, over it, the color will change to blue. When the cursor, the mouse is over it, the color will change to blue. So that is it for here. Then I come to border. I want to make the border to look like this one so that it will look uniform. I also come to box shadow. I choose the color I've selected before, which is this. So this is basically what's happening here. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. So you can add any text you want here. design responsive websites in this masterclass. So now there's another icing on the cake I want us to look at. Something that happens to this entire section. Maybe you load a page. Okay, let's go to responsive. Let's see what's happening here. Responsive. Here you see hide on desktop, hide on tablet, hide on mobile. So supposing maybe I want only people that use desktop laptop to see this particular section, I'll click hide on mobile and hide on tablet and leave hide on desktop off, so that only people who use laptops can see this. But if I don't want people who use laptop to see them, but I want people who use mobile phone, I'll leave these places off and click hide on desktop. Okay, let's see what happens. Hide on desktop. Once I access this page, let me update first. Let's use my Mozilla Firefox. Let's use Mozilla Firefox and access this page. Remember, as I'm hosting locally, only browsers in my laptop can access that page. So I also use the designation localhost masterclass 2020. Let's load. This is my masterclass. You see, that thing I just did, I can't see it here because I hid it for desktop. Now let me go back and unhide it for desktop. Let me update. So I go back to my Firefox and I reload. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It is here because I've unhidden for desktop. So supposing I want it to be hidden on mobile, I click hide on mobile on and I update. Then let's go back to our Firefox and see if we can change it to a mobile view. This should be a mobile view, I guess, because the menu has changed. So let's reload in our mobile view and see if we can. You see, I can no longer find it because it is hidden on mobile view. That is the job of Elementor. So I off it because I want all devices to see it. So you can use that in situations. There are situations actually where you can use that. Yeah, there are images that work well on desktop, and there are those that work well on mobile. So you can put two of different images that are passing the same information on a website and use Elementor to on or off them, so that when you access with a desktop, you see a different image, and when you access with a mobile, you see a different image, because you know that this image will perform well on a desktop while this one will perform well on a mobile. That is the power of designing with Elementor. So let's add some motion effects here. We need to add entrance animations to this section. So let's come here, go to motion effects. I access it using advanced here. I come to motion effects. I go to entrance animation, fading. We have zooming, we have bouncing, we have sliding, we have rotating, we have attention seekers, and we have light speed, spatials. So let's use fading up. Then animation duration, slow. So what happens is that anytime you come to this page, once a visitor loads this page, this section will fade in from below. I know you've visited sites that such things happen. When I reload this page, it's loading. Okay, let's go to our Firefox. We are going to be using Firefox now to test run the things we are editing on. So you see how it fades in. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Once you scroll, it fades in. That is the power of Elementor. That is the power of Elementor. So now let's go to adding another section. We want to add another section. Let's see. Okay, this time around, let's add a slider, a carousel, an image slider, an image carousel, a section. Let's use one section. Let's go back to our menu. We want to add an image carousel. Drag and drop. I want to add an image carousel. So we come here as well and select the images. So let's select these 3 images and create new gallery with these 3 images. Insert gallery. So this is it. Now so slide to show. Okay, image size full. Good. See, it's sliding. I can turn the image size to large. You can see all the images are not the same size. Like this image here is not the same size with the other 2 images. So we have navigation arrows. Navigation arrows. Do you want to use arrows or dots? If you want to use dots, these are the dots. I want to use arrows or arrows and dots. Arrows and dots, so that the arrow will come out here, so that the user can easily toggle to the image he or she likes. Because sometimes these images comes with a write-up by the side or below, so a user can toggle and read what the images are talking about. Then in case you want to add a link, this is where you add a link to the carousel, so that once the person clicks on the carousel, it will take them. You can also add a caption or a title. So that is it. We have additional options here. Autoplay. You want it to play automatically, or you want the user to be the ones that toggle the images. You want pause on hover, so that when the mouse is over it, the sliding will pause. But you don't want pause on hover. We set this to no, so it will continue sliding even when this mouse is hovering over it. Pause on interaction. You want it to pause whenever someone wants to interact with it, like maybe I want to click on it, it should pause. I'll leave it at yes. Then autoplay speed is 5000. Here we can adjust the speed to make it faster or slower. Can adjust the speed here to make it faster or slower. Then infinite loop, yes, that it continues to slide. If I set infinite loop to no, once it slides to the third one, the sliding will stop. But if I set it to yes, it will continue was sliding. Once it gets to the third, it will start from the beginning. Then effect, slide or fade. Then animation speed, you can also change the animation speed here. Then direction, do I want to slide left or right? This is where I set all those. So I can also come to style and position. I can change position here. Then arrows, do I want the arrows to be inside or outside? The dots, do I want them to be inside or outside? This is where I adjust the arrows, the dots, the sizes. Then this is where I also adjust the images. Do I want the images to have border? Do I want to put border radius on the images? Then on advanced, margins, I want to adjust the margin. I can come here and adjust the margin. So that's basically what happens. I want to make it responsive so that the carousel or the slider will not appear on desktop but appear on mobile. Or I want it to appear on mobile or not appear on desktop. This is where I come to responsive. So a whole lot you can edit here. So we've added a carousel. We can also work on the borders. Work on the border and make it solid. Border color white as usual. Border shadow. So it has a border now. And there's one good thing about Elementor. One good thing about Elementor is that while you are designing, you can check how it fits in mobile device. You can come here and check how it fits on desktop, tablet or mobile. Like when I click tablet, it will adjust the page to the size of a tablet, so I can check how my website will appear on a tablet. I can check how my website look at what is happening here. If someone accesses this website with a tablet, this is what is going to happen. So that means there is an error somewhere. So use it to check how your website appears on a tablet or on a mobile phone. So this is how my site will appear on a mobile device. That's how my site will appear on a mobile device. So this is it. So that is one other feature of Elementor. I'll update the settings I've been making. So let's go and add another section. We're going to be adding different sections here. Okay, for instance, I did something here. And I want to add a button to what I did. I want to add a button here. So I come home. Maybe I want to add a button a button, like a learn more button. So you saw what I did. I came home and this is the widget for button, so I drag it and drop it here. So I can now edit my button as a section separately on its own. So I can come to alignment and change it to align to center. I will change the text to, instead of click here, I will change it to learn more. Learn more. The size of the button, I can resize the button to any size I want. Then I can also put an icon if I so wish. Let's see some icons here. I can put an icon if I so wish. Let's say I want to use this icon. You see what's happening here. So I've inserted an icon here. Learn more. So is it before or after? I'll choose after. So the icon changes to after the text. What is the icon spacing from the text? I can increase the icon spacing from the text. So as I added a button, I'll come to link and add the link where clicking the button will lead the visitor to. I'll add a link here. So I'll go to style. I'll go to border. I want the button to be a kind of spherical in shape. I adjust the border radius and the borders are now curved. Text color. I want the text color to be black. Learn more. Then background color. I want to change the background color to blue. Then I want the color to change when you hover over it. When you hover, the text color should remain black, but the background color should change. The background color should change to this. So when I hover, background color changes to green and all that. So that is it. I've added what? I've added a call to action button. So once the person comes, design responsive websites in this masterclass, learn more, person can click here and it will lead them to a page where they will learn more, or they can read more on what I mean by design in impressive websites using this masterclass. So that is it for adding buttons. Then you can also add a video. I can choose to add a section. Add a section. Then I'll go home, add a video. It's a video I want to add here. So the source, I'll select the source of the video. I'll select the source of the video. Is it YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, or self-hosted? If I select self-hosted, I'll have to choose the video I want to add. I'll go to my upload files. Let's say I want to add a video on one of these classes I've been doing. So this is the video I've added. I'll insert media. So the video will load here such that you can play it when you visit the website. You can play the video when you visit the website. can play this video when you visit the website. So I've added a video to the website. What other things we can add? We can add a Google map. You can add Google Maps. Yes, you can add Google Maps in your contact section and set it in such a way that it will be pointing to the location of your office, your physical office. Then on icons, there are a whole lot of icons you can add, you can use to do various things. You can add icons as well. So what are other things you can use Elementor? You can add image box, you can add testimonials, you can add counters, you can add icon lists, a list with icons. You can add a progress bar. You know what a progress bar is? A progress bar that shows you the percentage of the progress. Maybe you're telling the public that an event is coming up soon, and you want to put maybe 80% loading, depending on the time left for the event to begin. You can put 80% loading, 90% loading. You achieve that using a progress bar. Then social icons, you can add Facebook icon, Twitter icon, YouTube icon, Instagram icon using social icons. Then toggle is maybe you create a section where you want them to click. When they click, a drop down appears. They can read it and also click it again, it will disappear. It's called toggle. Okay, let's quickly see how this works. Let's quickly see how this works. Let's use toggle. Let's go to toggle. So this is it. You can add a write up here, and when someone comes here, the person will click here, the write up will either appear or disappear. The same thing for here. So you can be adding more and more below depending on how you want to style it. So that is for toggle. So a whole lot of things you can do with Elementor. Then if you go to the paid versions, you also see a lot of functionalities. You can add forms, slides, login, navigation menu, price list. You can add price list, price table. You can add a price table, animated headline, reviews, table of contents, countdown timer, Facebook buttons, share buttons, Facebook comments, Facebook embed, a whole lot of things you can add on your website. Read more. Let's go to WordPress and see. Let's do a little bit of, for instance, this registration magic login button, or profile builder login widget. Let's see what happens with that. I select this section, I go back to profile builder login widget on my WordPress. I choose profile builder login widget and put it here. So after login, I'll put where it will redirect me after login. I'll put the register page URL optional, that's and password recovery page URL. So what happens is that when I save this, let's go to our Firefox and see how it looks like. So this is our Firefox. So this is it. This is the login. The login has appeared here. So the person inputs, the person can log in. But what happens is that what if the person forgets password or the person is not a registered member? I can quickly put master class 2020 / register, then recover password https / forgot to put my / master class 2020 / recover password. I can update. So the essence of doing this is, let's see if when I reload this page, I will see options that prompts the user to either register here if the person is not a new is not an already existing member, or forgot password, click here. Let's see if that will appear. Still saving. So we've saved it. Let's see if it comes up. Good. So this is it. I can click here, register, lost your password. So if that's the link I added there was the correct link for my registration page, once I click here, it will lead the person to register. That is, the person is not a registered member. And if the link I added for lost password recovery is the correct link for the password recovery for this plugin, once I click lost password, it will direct the person to a page where the person will change their password or remember their password, and they will send the person an email where they will go and change their password. So that is basically what happens here. So ladies and gentlemen, for the past close to an hour now, we've been talking about Elementor. We've seen the wonderful things you can do with that plugin called Elementor. Elementor can help you redesign your website in such a way that visitors will be glued to your website or your web page when they visit your web page. And today we're able to use Elementor to add a login form, to add toggle. We use Elementor to add a video to our website, so that people view when they visit our website. That if your website requires you to add an image, we use Elementor to add an image slider per slide. We use Elementor to add this section and put animations here. So there are a whole lot of things you can do with Elementor, and you customize them. Like this is not really looking nice based on the size of the text and all of that. So you can customize it to your own taste and make it look wonderful. So that is where we are going to stop in our class for today on Elementor. See you in our next class.